So, welcome to episode 25 of the Jez and Friends podcast. Today's special guest of the podcast is Ted. How's it going, mate?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going alright, mate. We're going to be covering many topics, including school. Obviously, we're still in school. Being a doggy supporter, I know you're not like a bandwagon. You've been a doggy supporter for a while. Yeah, you're born into it,
Yeah.
pretty much. And plenty of year 7 stories, which we talked about yesterday, and some other funny stories. So without further ado, we'll get started.
Well, I remember this one time I was at a pub. My dad plays music with a band every Monday night. This place called the Dogs Bar, St Kilda. Anyway, one time I was there, and there was this drunk guy at the pub who came up to me and was like, asked me some questions and asked if I played music, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, you should never sell your sound, like you should never sell out, basically. And well, I can't say I've done that yet. But you know, I think that's probably pretty good advice. I think like there's a lot of people who like with especially in the music industry, people signing up to things like record labels or stuff that they regret because it screws them over later. So that's probably good advice, I think, generally.
Yeah, I reckon it is. Yeah, especially for like music and stuff.
Yeah.
And speaking of music, mate, what like songs or artists do you listen to? I'm not sure. Really what you listen to.
Well, I listen to all sorts of different stuff. The songs I've been this one song I've been listening to a lot lately, called "Up" by Earth Gang.
Yeah. So
It's
genre like. Or
it's rap hip hop song. It's pretty weird. Like there's a lot of kind of I don't even know what instrument they use in a sample for
yeah.
it, but it sounds kind of like a bell or some shit. Anyway, I quite like it. My favorite artist of all time is probably Outkast.
Yeah.
Do you know them?
The one that sang "Hey."
Yeah.
Shouldn't be singing. She's singing.
Yeah, but I also like listening to other stuff like indie music and also like classical music. I don't listen to a whole lot, but there's a few different like songs that I like quite a lot. Yeah.
Know each other today. Obviously, high school, year 7.
Well, yeah,
Talk to me.
yeah. We started together in year 7, of course. We also did footy together.
Yeah, for a
From-
couple of seasons.
Yeah, for like 3 years, starting in year 7 as well.
Yeah, so.
I can't
2017.
actually remember if we met first at footy or school.
Probably school. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably school.
Yeah.
Either way, we recognised each other the second time we met each other. That's all I remember. We
Yeah.
probably met. Oh wait, could be either.
Yeah, but I know it's high school and footy, like high school. Yeah, let's just say high school because I didn't know you before that, Ben, for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, I'd never seen you before. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was basically how we got to
Yeah.
know each other, I think. Yeah.
We'll talk more about year 7 later, but that's insight on how we know each other. And speaking about like school and year 7 and stuff, like what do you want to do after school? Because obviously we've been doing year 11 transitions right now, so talk us through that.
I really have no idea. I mean, there's
Fair enough.
different stuff I'm interested in, like making music, art. I got into like programming and stuff for a while, but I kind of dropped off a bit because I couldn't finish any projects. Like I had tons of different ideas and would start making them, but I don't know if there's any other kind of things like it, but with coding, you often end up spending 90% of your time trying to fix problems and only a
Yeah.
tiny amount of time actually making stuff. But I did enjoy it quite a lot, and I am doing a programming class in for VC as well.
That's applied computing, yeah.
Yeah, so I think when it comes to getting jobs and stuff, that could be pretty useful.
Yeah, like especially now because technology is such a like mainstay. Yeah, that's a word to
Yeah,
describe
it's a growing industry. Like pretty much every business and organization needs it now. So
Like let's say 10 years ago, I remember having like those big fat TVs. You know those ones, like heavy ones.
yeah.
And now we have like flat screen TVs and like mobile phones that, all social media, all that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Porter in the Premiership in 2016. Obviously, we both were on grand final day. Quickly talk us through being a Doggy supporter and Premiership.
well, yeah, I remember. I've been a dog supporter since I was a really little kid. I mean, my whole family has been doggy supporters for ages. And I remember when, like, being a little kid, whenever we went to a match, it was always like very exciting whenever we won. It's like a rare special occasion. But there was, it was still exciting to see the matches and stuff. I remember I can still remember what the commentators sound like. It's like
Really?
burnt into my
Bruce
memory
McAvaney, one of my
from
favourites.
Hearing their voices, like watching the footy. But yeah, being there on the day was amazing. That's probably one of the best, or definitely the best footy match I've ever been to, obviously. But yeah, it was a pretty big thing. I mean, lots of kind of, first of all, they won from 7th place, which is really impressive. Is that the first time that's happened?
I think a few have won from 7th place, but yeah, it was incredible their story. Like it's such a young team, winning every single finals match, being written off as well. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of an upset win.
Yeah, pretty much unexpected.
And also because it'd been like more than 60 years since the last.
Yeah, 62 to
Premiership
be exact. We checked
in
a few minutes ago.
1950. Yeah,
54.
had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So we checked. Yeah, 1954 was the last premiership. But yeah, it was pretty amazing to be there. Somehow, like for the grand final tickets, I'm not sure if this is how it works for everyone, but it's a bit of like a random raffle thing when you try to buy a ticket, and we were lucky enough for all of us to get tickets to go.
Like same spots as well.
Yeah,
like
pretty
next to
much.
each other. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing, mate.
Yeah.
One word to sum it up: amazing.
Amazing.
So the quote of the podcast is push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. What is a quote of something you live by, mate?
Well, my general kind of work ethic, or I don't know what else to call it, the way I do things, I guess.
Yeah.
I generally tend not to put myself out there that much. I don't really try a lot of new things or go for different programs or things, but whenever I have work or tasks or classes or whatever, I get the work done. I do it, like I put in my full effort and stuff, meeting deadlines and stuff. I always pass my subjects and stuff, and I normally do alright. But yeah, I think in the future I definitely plan to put myself out there a bit more, try out new things, sign up for stuff, maybe go for a leadership position or something in the school if I, feel like it.
Are you going on going for one for next year? Or?
I forgot, I didn't do the thing when it came up, but maybe in year 12 as a last.
Yeah, still,
thing.
it's never too late to become a leader, and I classify everyone as a leader, regardless of if you have a badge or not. And yeah, it's really good to highlight your key strengths. You have a really good work ethic, probably better than me. Yeah, better than me in studying all that. And yeah, it's good you highlighted some things to work on as well, which is good to have as well.
Yeah.
Still recording, which is good.
Thank you.
Right. What's the last movie or TV show you've watched?
Alright, so I've been watching this show called Fargo, which I Started watching because I saw an ad on the side of a bus. Yeah.
That's what ads are for.
Yeah. But it's like there's 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I might be a bit weird, but I actually only started watching the 4th season because in Fargo, it's like every season is a different show, pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Different characters, different setting, etc. You know, a whole different story. I guess it's connected thematically or something, but like the same kind of ideas and things. That's about it. But yeah, I recommend it. It's about this season I'm watching is about 2 rival crime gangs in America in like the 30s or some shit. So they're wearing like fedoras and suits. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's like stuff like it's very kind of stylistic. Like it's real. Is kind of going for realism, I guess, but there's also a lot of like interesting editing and angles and music and stuff. Like, have you seen any Tarantino movies?
What are Tarantino movies?
Oh, he's a director.
Like, can you name a few?
Like Kill Bill is one, or I don't know. It's not really that much like his movies, but it's similar in the way that it's not technically like fantasy, or like it's not really
So is it based on, like, real life
sci-fi or
scenarios?
anything, but it is very kind of exaggerated, I guess, like kind of almost like over dramatized, but it's still very like interesting and stuff. Lots of different interesting characters and stuff. It's probably one of my favorite things in TV shows that I care about the most is like having interesting characters. Like, I don't know, I find that's probably the main thing.
Yeah, so it keeps you interested to like come back to the like next episodes and seasons and etc. a bit. So what's it on, like Netflix, Stan? What's it on?
Well, the first 3 seasons on Netflix, but you can also see it on SBS On Demand, which is you know
free. Yeah.
free. There's some ads, but it's fine. You know, it's just like watching normal TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been watching on SBS. That's where season 4 is.
Oh fuck now, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, cut this bit out. Yeah. So mate, we're talking about funny stories now. So, do you have any from either school or camps you remember fondly? I've written a few down on the show notes. Let's just discuss a few. So Year 7 camp, which was in 2017, like week 1. That's how I probably built our friendship, I guess.
Yeah, I have a lot of good memories from that camp.
Yeah, do you want to talk us through a few?
Well, I don't know how many of them would really count as funny stories.
Oh, just stories in general.
Yeah, just stuff like I remember doing the giant swing and like climbing under the Wombat Tunnel and shit.
Yeah, the Wombat Tunnel I remember fondly because I was a bit scared to go in by myself, so we went together. Yeah, you couldn't see, it was pitch black, and yeah, you had to like navigate your way through to like the exit point and stuff. And talk us through a bridge because everyone just like fucked up. I remember, I'm not going to mention his name, but they took like half an hour to do it.
The last kid was like taking ages to do it, but then like they said it was like lunchtime or whatever, so we all left, and then everyone in our group got in trouble because we
got
abandoned
screamed
him.
at. That was funny
that
as
was
shit.
funny.
And I had to go first. I remember.
Yeah, oh man.
Being first is like the worst because
Yeah, that's
you have to like experiment like how it works because you don't see other people doing it, and
Yeah, I remember that bridge thing. That was terrifying.
And mate, Ted, the possum incident. I talked to Dylan about this. I remember that we had cabins above the teachers, and the front door was like a normal door. Yeah, you just walk through it. Bloody planes. Anyways, the possum was like guarding it, or like at the front of it, next to the rubbish bin or something, and we all just shat ourselves because the possum wasn't small. It was like a 1 meter like type, and it was pretty fat.
Yeah, it was big.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I mean,
talk us through that.
It was like, it was. There was also, wasn't it a glass door so you could like see it from the inside as well?
but it was on the outside. I don't
Yeah.
like.
Anyway,
3
what,
years ago, so
yeah, I
you
can't remember
much, yeah.
a lot about it. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Also, I remember I've done the giant swing.
Yeah.
I've done that twice now, and like, I vowed to myself after the second time I'm never gonna do it again.
And speaking
it's-
about a giant swing, there was a graveyard next to the camp. And I talked about it to everyone, and I still do. That was the freakiest shit, like having a graveyard next to a camp. Imagine,
Yeah, I forgot
Like,
about that.
I reckon I believe in like ghosts and shit. Like it was that kind of like weird type shit. But yeah,
Yeah,
why would you have a graveyard next to a
I
camp?
remember it's like when you got to the top of the giant swing, then
You
you,
could see
saw
it.
the grave. What if they did that on purpose?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like that's just the weirdest type thing.
Yeah. Well, I also remember the mud run thing where we had to carry the tires through. Yeah, that was
hands
awesome.
and and
Yeah.
some like kids got stuck in the barbed wire.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
the
Yeah, that
muddy
was
thing. That was it.
Imagine that. I'm pretty sure our group actually overtook another group.
We
in the
overtook
race.
all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
groups and lapped them because our group was just we
We were
connected
fucking
and like
awesome, man.
we're just
We're the
it was
best
one of the
group,
best
yeah.
groups. And cross country, it was a very cold day, maybe last year or the year
Oh,
before,
yeah.
but so I do this as a tradition. Go into the toilets, like chuck hot water because your hands like numb. Like no reactions happened to me, but I told Ted to give it a go, and he got like his hands were like fully yellow and
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Like
fuck.
you
Yeah,
know, I don't think
remember.
it's recovered.
No, it is. It's like, I don't know why. Some reason I react weirdly to the cold.
Yeah,
like
so talk us through that, man.
I always like my hands get all like fucking. I mean, I feel like happens to everyone a bit, when it's really cold.
Yeah.
Your hands go yellow. Except sometimes happens to me like way too much. Like my whole hand was like just so weird, man. I don't
Oh.
know why that happens.
But it was normal. You could feel your hand and stuff. Yeah, it was just yellow.
No, I was numb as hell.
Oh.
I don't think it was actually because of the water. I think it was actually just because it was cold as fuck.
Yeah, I felt bad that day.
Nah,
After, like-
if it was because of the water, then it would have happened to everyone else.
Yeah, it was
I
just
think I'm just weird as fuck.
just a funny
Yeah.
incident that happened that day. But I suddenly remembered yesterday. But yeah.
Yeah,
it's good
cross
to-
country, man. I've got mixed feelings about that. Because, like, it's one of the few things I'm actually good at.
Yeah, you're really good at cross country. and
But it's
fire
also,
from
like,
hands.
torture. It's also just, like...
Yeah,
makes
like,
you feel
we
sick
get
and
through it, and you feel you can't eat too much during the day, or like, cause if you eat before, like, if you eat a fucking
Yeah, there's
Big
some
Mac
kids who actually
before it.
vomit in the thing.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I remember
Like,
me.
you should just stop. If you're
Yeah.
actually gonna vomit, you should just stop running.
Both of us, we ran past some kid vomiting, which wasn't a pleasant experience because you feel the same way after you see someone like fucking throw up in front of you. So
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but yeah. It is pretty rewarding though. Like when you get to the end, it's like you feel kind of accomplished, I guess, because it's like very difficult and long and stuff.
yeah,
I don't know if I'll continue doing it. I might. I'll
maybe
just.
next year we'll just have some fun
Yeah.
with it.
Look, I'll just if I get into the next round, I'll go. But I probably won't do all sorts of training and stuff for it.
We never really trained anyway, to be honest.
yeah.
But
Actually, that was weird. For some reason, like in primary school, I was shite at everything. But then in high school, I was pretty good at cross country.
yeah, running, you're decent, and I encourage you to run a little bit more, mate. Because
Yeah, I probably should.
yeah, we should do a run, maybe just holidays. But yeah, it's good. Talk us through your 2 awards you received at the MAC Awards night. Obviously, the languages award, you've got it a few years in a row now, but you're very good with your languages. And talk us through the Conley Scholars Award because did I pronounce it properly? Yeah.
Yeah, Conley.
Yeah. So it's just talk us through it because very interesting. I'd say.
Right, do you want to talk about both or just the last one?
Yeah, the last one because Italian. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Italian. I'll
We'll
just
talk
say a
about
few
that
things.
later, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. For the Conley Dow thing, that's it's like. Well, first I guess I'll talk about why I think I got it. I mean, I didn't. It's not. I don't think you can apply for it, or you might be able to.
Yeah.
But I was like nominated by the school for it. I think that the program asks this a bunch of different schools to nominate some people for it. And anyway, so I applied and got in. I think I was nominated just because, you know, as I was saying before, like my work ethic and like
Academics
just,
and yeah,
you know,
just
I
to
do.
get things
I
done
don't
at a
try a
high
lot of stuff,
standard.
but I do my classes pretty well and stuff generally, and I'm pretty happy about it. I am looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's associated with Melbourne Uni a lot. I think like it's started by one of the alumni of of Melbourne Uni, and it's like I think it's made kind of to.
Prepare you for uni, maybe, or
Well, that's kind of how they would sell it, but I feel like it's more like they're trying to get all of the smartest kids to go. That's the cynical way to look at it, I guess.
True.
I mean, yeah, it should be good though. There's different events and stuff you go to, like
there's like sleepovers I've heard. As
yeah,
well,
some kind of campus
yeah, it's
overnight stay and like lots of stuff about kind of experiencing
how uni works.
yeah, meeting other people as well, I guess, and doing stuff. And I think there was something like if you get ATAR over
I
a
saw
certain
it,
score, then you
95
get
plus or something.
yeah,
kid.
95
Oh,
plus.
mate.
I'm not getting that.
I'm backing you, mate. Like
I'll get. I don't fucking
Yeah,
know. I don't even know how it works still.
ATAR doesn't matter. It doesn't define you.
Yeah, it doesn't. But yeah,
For you,
it
I
is-
reckon.
There is one, yeah. It was saying stuff like, if you get a certain ATAR, you'll basically
Guaranteed
get
or
a
something?
scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either you get a guaranteed spot at Melbourne Uni, basically.
And a scholarship, maybe.
There was
yeah.
also stuff about a scholarship to study overseas, which I am
Plan to
not.
do, or-
I don't know. I mean, it would be pretty cool, but I don't know if I'd really want to do that much.
Yeah, depending on the country.
It'll be quite a lot to do, especially heading into the next couple years. There's
Maybe like you could do international stuff like second, third, fourth year, but not like
Yeah,
first
yeah,
year.
yeah.
That's just like putting you into the deep end, like craziness.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because normally when you go on exchange or whatever, it's just like you don't know anyone there at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, obviously a lot of people do it and it's good, but I don't know if it's really my thing. But I might consider it if I get offered to do it. But yeah, so I think that's most of the stuff for the Kwangli Dao program.
Yeah, it's a really good program, and I think you get nominated for it. But yeah, just a good program to learn more about uni and yeah, what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Mate, what's it like playing footy for a few seasons with the Colts with me? It was some pretty fun times. We won a few games for a few seasons. Then last year we got demolished like every game.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, talk us through that.
I did enjoy it quite a lot. I sometimes miss every now and then. I only stopped this year.
I didn't even get to play. No
Oh
one
yeah,
got to
it
do
doesn't.
anything.
Yeah, it makes no difference. So, I mean, I guess I could technically go back, and it wouldn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Like it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, I found that with footy, it's like I love playing the games and stuff and doing training. I do love the sport footy, but I'm not really that type. I guess I don't.
Yeah, I understand. What you're
It's
saying.
not my kind of social scene. Like
Yeah, like the social side.
you know,
like,
it's
yeah.
just a different type of person, I guess. Most of the people who play footy.
'Cause
I
it-
don't like.
yeah.
It's not like I have beef or anything. I don't dislike anyone on the team.
Yeah, it's just the different personalities kind of like are not associated with you, or they just share like different interests to what. Like,
Yeah,
so,
I
yeah.
mean, like, I do enjoy footy, but I don't know. Like, everyone's talking about like all the AFL teams. I know like 10 AFL players max.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I didn't really. There wasn't really anything. There wasn't a lot in common. Yeah, so I mainly stopped playing because of that stuff. But I would definitely go back I definitely would play matches again.
Yeah,
that was
maybe-
something I definitely.
Maybe not next year. 'Cause I'm not playing next year, so I'm taking a year off. Maybe like the year after, we could just go back because it's the last ever year of like junior footy and just have some
Yeah.
fun and yeah, I reckon that'll be cool.
Mm.
And we're playing Saturdays as well now.
Oh,
around the
yeah,
18th, so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like a bonus, yeah, because
Mm.
you do like footy on Saturday, Sunday you can study or whatever, but you don't have to like have that added thing of school's the next day and stuff. And you'd be
Yeah,
so
yeah,
sore. Yeah, that's great. Talk us through your first day at high school. Do you remember it much? Because obviously the transition from grade 6 to 7, you're literally at the top of the school, then suddenly you're at the bottom
Oh,
again.
yeah.
So talk us through that, man.
Oh man, start of year 7, that was weird as. I remember like we were doing random stuff during like orientation and at the start, like all the icebreaker stuff. Didn't
Oh,
really do anything, to be honest.
yeah,
I mean,
don't remember.
I had one close friend, Ruben, who
Shout out to him.
yeah, shout out to Ruben if you're watching that episode. Yeah, came from KPS. There was a few different people from KPS,
Yeah,
but you know,
Bit of everyone. Yeah.
Yeah,
different
and,
personalities, all that. Yeah.
so it's probably good having like someone I knew that I could hang out with and stuff in early year 7.
Were you nervous on your first day? Do you remember? I reckon everyone was nervous, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone was a bit nervous, but I don't think it was too bad because
Yeah, like, because
yeah,
we soon, like, after a few days, we got to know each other. It was fine, yeah.
I remember in year 7 there was this weird SEAL program thing
Yeah, you took
that
part in that, didn't you?
I signed up for it, but it didn't really mean anything because they were starting to go into the
Yeah. The good thing was you got to have, like, more subjects in the vertical curriculum, which, I
yeah.
don't know, maybe benefited
I
you, or I don't know.
I kind of regret it, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, I got put into some classes that were like above year 7, but
Like year 8 type maths or whatever.
well, there was
Yeah.
2 classes I think I got put in. I was in coding in drones, which was pretty fun. We didn't really do any work. We just drove drones around.
Yeah, I took the piss in that class in year 8.
Yeah.
I remember Mr. Stewart was a teacher. He was a great teacher, but yeah.
Yeah, and also I did biochemistry in year 7.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
I had
normally year 8.
I had a really bad teacher, and
Yeah.
everyone
Won't
else
name
in the
names, but yeah.
everyone else in the class was like twice my height. That
Yeah,
was-
I understand. Still people twice my height today.
Yeah, that was something that I did not enjoy very much. I don't think I did any work because it was too hard. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
not
not
too
So moving on, mate. True or false? You're fluent in Italian. I'm gonna say you're fluent because you get all the languages awards every year. You're very good with like changing it from like if you study language like masculine or feminine, like the different past tenses, present tense, all that. And you're doing Italian next year, yeah. So.
actually I'm not.
Oh fuck. But yeah,
I
just,
will-
you're
I-
pretty good at Italian. Just true or false.
I think I'm alright, yeah. I
Yeah.
would definitely not say I'm fluent. I don't know enough vocab.
But let's say me and you, we
So-
went to Italy. I reckon we should, yeah. Like
yeah, maybe one day, yeah.
we love Italian culture because obviously we've done Italian. But if me and you, we went to like Italy, and do you reckon we navigate it well? We probably would, yeah, because we studied a fair bit and know the basics of Italian greetings, all that. So
Yeah, it'd probably go fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't say I'm fluent, but I do enjoy it a lot, and
yeah, it was
I
amazing subject.
stuck
yeah.
with it. The only reason I haven't continued it is there's just not enough people for there to be a class. If I was
Yeah.
gonna do Italian, I'd have to do bloody distance ed, which
Yeah, that shit's just
I'd rather just
respect to that, but like it's
yeah,
just
like good on everyone who does it. That must is a
yeah,
big thing.
get a
And,
big
yeah.
ATAR boost.
But yeah, it's I'd rather just like practice it myself, like just in my own time, than do a
Yeah,
whole distance class for it. To be honest.
I definitely want to maybe learn Italian in the future, like take
Yeah,
some
I could-
classes in the future.
yeah, it is quite fun being able to speak in a different language. Even though I can't speak everything, it's still fun to just say
Yeah,
random
just-
shit.
Yeah, you can swear at people in Italian and they wouldn't even know what you're saying. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your fears, mate? Mine are snakes, spiders, and swimming.
Okay, I agree. Like sometimes swimming can be pretty.
Well, at least you can swim, mate. I
Yeah, I
can't even
can
go
swim.
like 5 meters. And
But
pretty
yeah,
embarrassing.
about fears, to be honest, I'm not really scared of like animals and shit.
Typical spiders. Yeah.
Like I go to this place called Sandy Point every year with my family.
Yeah.
And seen quite a few snakes there, and I've not been attacked, so I kind of got used to it. One time I nearly stepped on one by accident, but normally they just run off.
Thought that was a snake.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I'm not really scared of animals. I mean, obviously, if I was actually in danger, then yeah, I'd be scared.
Yeah, 100%.
But I remember I used to be like my two main fears when I was a kid was nuclear bombs.
Yeah, who wouldn't be afraid
Yeah,
of
but
nuclear
I was
bombs?
always like
Yeah.
worried, like, oh, is the whole world just gonna randomly blow up? Which I guess is still a
possibility, yeah.
possibility, but to be honest, it's less scary now than it used to be. Like, if the world just randomly got destroyed, it wouldn't be that bad,
Yeah,
as
like-
compared to a
'cause you're-
whole war and stuff.
Yeah, you're all wiped out in one go or something.
Yeah. Also, asbestos. I used to be.
Yeah,
I used to
yeah,
find that
true.
terrifying. I remember one time I heard someone talking all about asbestos, and then I just got super worried that every single building and stuff
The
was
I
gonna
know the
get
roof had a
poisoned
fair
and get
bit
cancer. Yeah.
back in the day. I don't know if it still does, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I guess now I'm less worried about specific things and more just kind of
What, like abstract type?
yeah, worried about the future and
Yeah, that's
whether I'll
normal as well, yeah.
achieve my goals,
Goals and aspirations, all that.
and
yeah.
whether I'll more just kind of general fears and anxieties than specific ones.
Yeah, that's good.
Also a bit scared of heights as well.
Fair enough. I remember I had Josh. He's never been to Eureka Skydeck. I'm not sure if you have before, but if you're afraid of heights, probably don't go to Eureka Skydeck. The tallest building in.
I've been up to the top of the building, but I've never gone out on the fucking
Oh
glass
yeah, I
box
chucked a
thing.
pencil outside the thing. It might
Probably-
have hit someone.
You probably killed some random.
Oh yeah, I murdered someone, possibly. So that's not a good thing to have. But yeah,
They'll never know.
I'll never know as well.
No, they'll probably figure it out like the detective watching this podcast.
Yeah, like the
realised
fingerprint or
it's-
whatever. Yeah. That was like in 2015, so 5 years have gone. Yeah, whatever. But
Yeah. This is you're admitting you're guilty of on the podcast.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think that's about it in terms of fears, because you named a fair few, and there were actually some different fears to what other people have. Yeah.
About what you were saying also about swimming reminds me of something. Remember the year 7 swimming carnival?
Oh,
I only actually signed up for the boogie board
and you did
race,
like
and
all of them. Yeah.
I signed up for the boogie board race and the walk run. I actually won the boogie board race,
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember. that.
which
You
is
did pretty well.
literally the only athletic thing of it.
I'm just shit at everything.
But yeah, I remember because Artemis, the shite house.
Yeah, so I remember
always
Poseidon
loses.
wins every year pretty much. Athena, those two are big rivals, and Apollo and Artemis are just there in the background.
Yeah, we're
you
just
get put in there.
Fucking- Bro,
Sad times for you.
the
pretty much. You don't
relay
win much.
the relay team had only 3 people signed up
Yeah,
for the
that
swimming
basically
relay.
defines Artemis.
Def-
People who-
definition. So they were coming around looking for people to sign up, and for some reason they kept asking me if I was going to do it. So
Yeah, and you kindly volunteered.
so yeah, I volunteered to
get
do
your
it.
Got some points.
But I've not swum like freestyle properly for like years.
Well, I just grabbed the railing whenever.
Yeah, I was just so shit. As soon as I went in the wall, I was like, oh fuck, I can't do this. So I started just doing backstrokes so I wouldn't drown.
At least you did better than, I'm not gonna name names again, but some kid, I'm not sure if you've seen this, but so he dived like straight in, and he was drowning from the start, and that lifeguard had to like use the water type thing, the yellow, fuck, I don't know how to name it, but to get him back up afloat. That was funny as shit. But if you can't swim, just go onto a railing, because no one wants to see a big. Actually, it's pretty funny if you see. So I don't want to see anyone die. Like the drowning motion is funny.
No, you don't have to say that specifically that you don't want to see them die. I'm pretty sure that's kind of implied.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
We should move on now. I don't want to take too much of your time, man. Do you have a useful tool that you use that could benefit the listeners? For me, listening to music before school or podcasts, because I'm into the podcast industry these days.
Well, let's see. When it comes to schoolwork, I'm not really sure what advice I could give.
Yeah.
I don't really use many specific techniques, except, often the teachers will give you some kind of advice for studying or something, and you're like, yeah, whatever. But actually, it's probably a good idea to listen to what they're saying if you're worried about, passing a class or something. Listen to if the teacher gives you some advice. For example, in English, when it comes to essays and stuff, it's a good idea to just practice writing essays.
Yeah, like the actual skill of it, instead of just writing down notes and going through your slides.
You don't just. It's not just about the kind of theory of it. You also have to just practice doing the writing, getting your ideas down, and doing it quickly enough, etc.
Yeah, 100%.
Another thing, I don't know if it makes a big difference, but I find I often read. I started more for a while.
Great. I've been doing it recently as well.
For quite a while, I kind of had not been reading a lot, just
Same
a
thing,
bit.
bro, yeah.
Every now and then I'd do it a bit, but I didn't really enjoy
Encourage
it
you
that much.
guys. Good for English as well.
Yeah, it just helps a lot, and especially when you're trying to fall asleep.
Yeah, just before you go to sleep.
Reading makes you more tired.
Yeah, and it's good for
it's good,
learning new words, and it helps with your English, because I can't remember the logistics, but if you read 10 minutes per day, you're exposed to for the whole year, you're exposed to 1 million new words per year if you read 10 minutes a day, and that's what I've been trying to do, and so is Ted. So
Also noticed more recently that I kind of stopped. I hadn't been enjoying. I used to always read novels, fiction books, and stuff like that. But more recently, I had stopped feeling, excited or interested in reading those books.
So you've
But now
switched genres, or?
I started. I noticed that more recently, I'm a lot more interested in reading, non-fiction, history books.
Biographies or that? Or?
Yeah,
More
books about
history,
history or politics or fucking
world events and
all sorts of just stuff that's interesting to think or talk about. When it makes it a lot more. I mean, it's almost I find I enjoy reading more about things that I enjoy talking about.
Yeah.
I've been reading this book recently called True Gert, about early Australian history in the colonial era.
Is it non-fiction? Or?
Yeah, but it's not written. It's not super boring and stuff. It's got a lot of jokes and random weird, interesting stuff. Some of the stuff that happened back then is pretty fucking disturbing.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of movies and stuff regarding world wars and all that. And it's extraordinary what the soldiers and stuff went through back in the day, and still today as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there's also the stuff coming out about I don't want to go too far into it, but how there's the stuff in the news about the SAS soldiers and stuff.
Oh, the war crimes and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's pretty fucked.
We just see them as good guys, doing good stuff for our country, but we all know people are human, and sometimes you can like do bad stuff, like, and yeah, it just shows that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess there's a bigger picture to a certain thing. Yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say about that, I guess. It just
Yeah,
made
just-
me think of it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We should move on now. But mate, we talked about this earlier about goals and stuff. What's next for you in 2021? Any big goals? Obviously, you want to put yourself out there more, like try new leadership stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are probably my main goals, to be honest. Just be more open, not just to doing different stuff, also to people. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I've
good.
been like kind of for quite a while now. I just been in the mindset of just like do what I'm supposed to do. I haven't really been doing a lot of different things. I feel like I want to start, just being less worried about things as well.
Yeah, and like that social side. I reckon I'm not perfect as well, but expanding your friendship group, like I reckon next year will be a lot easier because, especially with people of the same age as you, because you can connect on like similar levels. Because you never have vertical structure.
Yeah.
It's good, but sometimes like if you're talking to like a year 7, they're so much more immature about a certain topic. You know, you
Yeah.
get what I mean? Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me, how like all the what's it called, SPDs or whatever.
Yeah.
They like this is something I've been thinking of
Talk about,
like
yeah.
saying to the what's it called, student leaders or whatever. So, they're always going on like, oh, bring your ideas to us and we'll do a blog.
Yeah, there's one right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Wait, are you still the captain?
I'm Poseidon House Captain. So.
Right, yeah. Well, if they keep doing SPDs and stuff, I don't think it's a good idea for it to be vertical. Like, I understand
just
why
one
they have
level,
vertical
yeah.
learning for all that stuff, but when it comes to social class or fucking...
Oh, yeah, and you talk
SPDs.
about mental health and all that, and
Yeah.
there's too many, like,
Yeah, because
people don't take that
there's
seriously.
varying levels of immaturity, knowledge. Also, just
age,
like,
all that, yeah.
you end up in a class with like a bunch of people and you only know like one of them. All the
Yeah.
others like random kids who are
But, I mean,
basically
even
primary
though that's
schools
a bad thing,
to
the good thing is,
almost grown-ups,
yeah,
And that's I feel like when it comes to those classes, they should be just year level. The other thing is, pretty much every year for the past 3 years, we've just been doing the exact same things every year.
and they're getting rid of mentoring, which is, I mean,
Wait,
it was,
legit?
well, it's only once a week now
Oh,
from
right.
next year
yeah.
on. So, I mean, I reckon that's a benefit because
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
you just sit there staring at the time waiting for it to finish, but once a week you can still look at the notices, what's going on, but it's not as often, and maybe you can get to school a bit later, all that. And yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon we should move on, fire away some questions. What motivates you the most and why?
What motivates me the most? Let's see. I guess once again we talked about it a bunch of times, but just my kind of mindset, I guess. I find when it comes to motivation for doing things like making art or music or stuff like that, most of the motivation is just because I enjoy doing it, and it's
Yeah, do what you love.
it's it's rewarding, it's fun, all that sort of stuff. Especially like very recently I've been doing a lot more trying to improve my drawing and stuff.
Yeah.
And but yeah, when it comes to like schoolwork, I generally don't need a lot of motivation to do it, but I probably need more for other stuff like signing up to programs or joining
Yeah.
clubs, stuff like that.
And that will come eventually, because what you're doing like with your subjects right now, you just do like imply the same attitude with like leadership and stuff, and I reckon you'll do pretty well. Just,
But yeah, so about motivation. It's more about just being in it, having a good work ethic.
Self-motivate.
Yeah.
Self-motivation.
I think if I had more long-term goals, I would probably need more motivation, but when it just comes to going through with school and stuff, I I just kind of do what I need to do.
Yeah, fair enough. It's good.
Yeah.
Talk us through your views on climate change, because it's a huge issue in our society today.
Yeah, well, about climate change, I mean, everyone knows about it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that kind of, or it's going to be a very big thing in the future, obviously.
It already is.
Oh yeah, fuck, it already is this year, man. But like, I think it's kind of the fact that climate change is happening and stuff. It's kind of sometimes makes everything else seem a bit pointless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's like so little stuff being done to stop it, and
Yeah, there's more bad than good. Shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, and
especially with technology and stuff. Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that we do, or like that we get that we're taught to do, like different jobs or things that are supposed to happen in life, which will probably become obsolete because of climate change and stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's also, every now and then you see stuff that is kind of good, like, even though the the Australian government is totally just not doing anything to stop climate change, all the individual states themselves are actually doing more.
Yeah, like, I remember, our English exam with the ban the bag shit.
Yeah.
Even though we're talking about
Yeah.
school again, but the banded bag, all that type shit.
Yeah, so what's it called? Tasmania and South Australia both fully solar powered now, or
Really?
sorry,
Like
renewable
close to,
powered.
yeah.
No, like actually 100%,
That's amazing.
which is amazing. Yeah, and apparently, I think in the past week or so, New South Wales has released some kind of renewable energy related plan. So there's, even though the Australian government is not having a lot of action, it's still, progress is being made by the states. And
Yeah, for sure.
so that's a bit of hope.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, guys.
Yeah. Also, like, I think when it comes to climate change and stuff, there's a lot of things that are causing climate change that kind of will require massive overhauls to do, not
Yeah,
just
like,
using.
you need like people power to inflict the changes, not just.
Yeah, and also things like the way that people use eat food or use clothes or all sorts of different stuff. It's the world has developed to become very wasteful.
Sometimes
and
sad and like, I know like we do this, yeah. If I get takeaway, let's say KFC, and like it comes in plastic or that. Sometimes when I finish the food, I feel bad, and like, when you chuck it in the bin, it's still like landfill and all that. Don't like when you buy like a bottle of water from like a canteen or whatever, and plastic caps all that, and I could just bring my own water bottle. All
So,
that.
there's a lot of things that it would be very difficult to deal with, even if everyone is in support of it.
Yeah. 100%.
So I feel like when it comes to climate change and stuff, it's it's a very big topic, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's so many different things connected to it, but it's almost easier to just ignore it and pretend that's not going to happen rather than try to solve it, because it's such a big
and hopefully
thing.
By the time we're like, say 50 or something, climate change is dealt with properly. Not there better be more good than bad, because if there's still more bad than good, like those trees we're sitting in front of would probably be gone or something. As simple as that. Last.
Hey, the next Australian election is the year that we'll be able to vote.
2022.
2022. I'm pretty sure every 3 years, and it was.
And it might happen at our school as well. So.
Yeah. So that.
Interesting.
Look forward to.
I've asked you a fair few questions, Ted, mate. You can ask me one question far away.
Well, you've probably been asked this before,
Probably
so
have.
I'm
taking you over this segment after this episode, mate.
Okay, wait, hang on. What have any kind of? Do you think that in the future you will be like a leader, like you keep being in leadership related stuff?
Yeah, that's a really good question, mate, and I thank you for not asking a generic question. So the segment will continue, I reckon. Anyway, yeah, I reckon I see myself doing some type of leadership role in the future, like just some simple stuff like volunteering in the community. That could be like a leadership type thing, and like helping other people, like and see them be happy and all that. Because I feel like leadership has helped me step out of my comfort zone and become a better person for it, and it's given me so many opportunities, and I just want to continue that in the future. So yeah.
Yeah, well, good on you.
Cheers, mate. I reckon you should do a few leadership type of stuff in the future.
Maybe I'll see.
Yeah, a few minor ones will be fun, but yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning into the Jez and Friends podcast, episode number 25. Remember, push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. Been a pleasure, Ted. We've talked about lots of things and good to catch up, reminiscing through old times. And yeah, thanks so much for your time.